What's up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americans.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know,
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right.
Now I can go back to minding my own business. Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like it.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
Oh, and what a Monday it is, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see everyone, those that will be joining us live and in person, and those that won't. Ladies and gentlemen, the family is here, and we all, if we gonna be on, it's all of us gonna be here. Gentlemen and madam, good to see everybody. How y'all doing today?
Yes, good Monday evening.
Yes, sir. I think we're doing better than a lot of folks in Texas, but we're gonna figure that out real quick. So again, y'all, I'll just start with this. If we say something you like to hear, feel free to give a cheer. How about give us a little something. So that's what that'd be right there. So without any other what do you call it, interruptions, I'm gonna get right into it because I think we got quite a bit to talk about, and it's been a minute. So I want to talk just quickly about a few politics. Now we've been away for about 2 weeks, and they convicted him. Now I don't know how we all felt before, but I know I'm pinching myself because I still ain't with it. I didn't know all the ramifications that came with getting convicted. So now we're to the point to where my man he had to go see his probation officer. And I said to myself, I didn't know you lose these rights after you are found guilty. So again, the justice system has given me more clarity because I'm not a criminal, so I didn't know. So I mean, Black, how are you surprised? And I guess how much more do we think is gonna come from this?
I definitely was a little surprised. I'd be lying if I told you that I honestly thought they would get a conviction. To be honest with you, up to now he's been Teflon Don. Having said that, we always talk about that goalpost that continues to move.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, we got the conviction, and there is an impact, and there are circumstances, but it highlighted something he said when he ran for president the first time. He said he could shoot a man in the middle of Broadway, and it wouldn't matter. And so the reality is, did it slow down his campaign? In many ways, I think it engendered him more to certain individuals. They locked in even more his support. So there's an expression from back in 1970s when Happy Days was on. We have jumped the shark. For those of you who don't know what that means, if you think about the episode when Fonzie literally jumped a motorcycle over the shark, in that episode, I'm dating myself, and you thought, oh my, it was the end of the season. Then when there is nothing left to do, you're making up shit at that point.
Right.
As a country, we've jumped the shark. They've moved the goalpost to places now. We literally, let this sink in, however you want to process it. The front runner for the Republican Party is a convicted felon. And to your point, Brenton, there are over 34 countries that he can't visit unless he get permission.
Yes, sir.
But he will be the president if he wins of these United States.
The audacity of this country. But sister, I'm gonna put this: can this scale of justice hold any more of this turd that we? Because again, these folks said I'm voting for them no matter what. And again, to what we always known, which is racism, takes a backseat to classism. We're about to see if the scales of justice can hold all that weight, because that's what they've been feeding us for the last however many years this country has been an independent country. But can the scales of justice hold all of this?
It don't really matter. He's in a different category. It's almost like you're comparing him to a normal person, and
True.
what would happen to a normal person in this type of situation. What's funny is when that man was convicted, he raised so many millions of dollars on these people just because they want to make sure they help him out and do for him. And I mean, I won't say how I feel about Trump. We're not going to do that today.
Right.
I will say is, regardless of what happens, that man needs to open a church. He will be bigger than Joel Osteen. They have made songs about this man, almost worshiping him like he's like Christ. And when he opens the church, I want him to go to a deserted island and take all them idiots with him. And then they can all sit over there and worship him in Timbuktu with just them and they private island. And I just think that's what should happen, because I never realized how dumb we were until now. We really are dumb, yeah. I mean, I kind of knew, but I didn't know it was to this extent, because like you said, they always keep moving the goalposts. There's no other party that would have been able to be convicted of these things.
That's right.
And still be a front runner. It's made him more popular.
Yeah. Kenny, I'm going to ask you this question, and it's loaded. I mean, I put all the bullets in this clip, and I'm going to give it to you. Is it true that this country has laid its hat on no man is above the law? Are we going to see that truth become no more?
Boy, that's a trick question, Brother Brenton. That's a trick question. It's no man above the law. Well, we damn sure get ready to see July 11th when sentencing comes. We're gonna see what the justice system really is in this country when July 11th comes. Because
wow.
I would say this. I'm like Black. I thought he would have been found guilty, but not on all 34 counts. Right. That shocked me. So that tells me that jury, they looked at all the evidence and they came to the conclusion there was some wrongdoings on Donald Trump's part. Now, the convicted felon thing now, that definitely is a twist now, because I think that's going to change the game for America, because now these employers in it, I think they have to stop putting that question on applications. Are you a convicted felon? Because if the president is a convicted felon and he can be a president, how the hell you can't hire me as a convicted felon? I'm just saying. I get it. I know you're going, Lady D. I know Donald Trump is different. He's different. I get it. But I'm saying that's a question to ask.
Go on, sister.
Did y'all know you have to be more qualified to be the manager of Target than
to be the president of the United States?
The president of the United States.
President of the United States. And that's why it doesn't matter. But now that Trump has done this, I think they will have to move it, but they'll have to move it a little bit lower. The expectations will lower because of Trump. But somebody like my son, because he didn't want to get his GED or nothing like that, can't be a manager at Target, but he can run for president. Does that make any sense?
Oh, this is the most duplicitous country in the world.
Right.
And I'm gonna ask y'all this, and again, I know it's loaded, but in my mind, this is what irks me so much, because all of a sudden the justice system didn't work. It's been not working, but it's been working for y'all, and all of a sudden when one of y'all's done got a little taste of what we's been getting, all of a sudden now the justice. We've been telling y'all that for decades. y'all been doing, and so it almost feels like it's a little. How do you call it? You're getting a taste of your own medicine, like that. The way they're doing it. Go on, Black. So you got something on your lip.
But that's where, for me, I'm with Kenny. I want to see what the penalty is going to be, and I'm still not sold on the fact that this is going to lower the bar. Now my expectation from me moving it from watching it because of what you said, watching the senators line up behind him, and they're blaming this, that, and the other. I think they're going to pull a collective amnesia on the entire country because you said it, Sister D. We are stupid. The big thing for me is this should be a wake-up call for ordinary citizens. That chasm between the 1% and the rest of us, this should be a wake-up call that how they view you. Don't trust your eyes. Don't trust the system when it affects somebody we want to support. And somebody sitting on the panel, he's different. He's special. And I'm prepared now that, well, he's not really a felon. We're not going to count that.
Yeah. No.
But you still can't get a job at Target.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, we're gonna be on. We'll be on when all this come down. I think one of the hardest jobs in this world at this point is that judge. He's not gonna get it right. And I mean, like you're going to upset somebody.
He's damned if he do and damned
Yes,
if he
sir.
don't. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So I'm telling you, I'm going to remember Judge Merchan because his name is going to be in the history books in about 20 years. Whatever history looks like in 20 years, that man's right there decision is going to impact the way this country is going to move forward. I just believe that. So the reason why I said we keep it up with politics, I got one more thing to talk about before we move on, is the current president's son is in his own trial. But for this one thing I'm going to talk to y'all about, I wouldn't care less about this thing. But there was something that was very interesting to me that told me, again, classism. They put up a woman. Y'all know Joe had 2 sons and one of them died, right? Named Bo.
Mm-hmm.
So Bo's wife,
Right.
which is Bo's widow,
Mm-hmm.
she's a widow.
Right.
Tell me why she was a witness to what's going on with Joe's current son, Hunter, because they were in relationship together.
Right.
So they referred to Bo's widow as Hunter's ex-girlfriend after Bo died.
Yeah.
Why they do that at?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know how raunchy, and I know this don't mean nothing, but how is that not uncouth to even say the least? Like they just the news is just letting it roll off their tongues. Like I had to rewind the tape because I said, "Did y'all just say the widow of Bo?"
Yeah,
is
you
Hunter's-
you must have missed that, Brent. We been knew that. That's old news.
Man, when I tell you I don't care, but it was just
Yeah, no, I know
I
you don't, but that was old news. I remember when that came out years ago. I mean,
really,
after Bo passed away, like a year or so. Yeah, I remember when that came out. Yeah.
So this is where, let me just say the point blank way. Culturally, white and black, we don't view things like that in the same light.
Right.
I've worked for white corporate America my entire life. And one thing I've noticed about them, they don't view things like that the same way we do. We have a internal standard amongst African Americans that certain things are off limits. And it's ingrained in us. If your brother dies, his wife is off limits.
Yeah.
But I noticed amongst white people, it's plain as day. They're okay with, oh yeah, Susie used to be married to George and then she dated Jim. They don't view, they have a less stringent view I've discovered when it comes to things like that. You know how many events I've been to where when the drinks come out, oh, touch your breasts. Man, she'll let you, blah, blah, blah. They have a very different view and value system.
No, you tell them the truth.
Even of other things like homosexuality, it's just less. So that's why when we look at history and we castigate a Michael Jackson, and a P. Diddy and whatnot, they're more forgiving with Woody Allen. Woody Allen is still attending public events with a wife that used to be his daughter.
My God. Okay. I ain't gonna tell all my business because it's just none of people's business. But I'm gonna tell you something. I used to work at a corporation, and no, I'm not gonna tell y'all this. Never mind. Let's move on.
Hey, you in a safe space, brother.
I got stories.
Yes, I know that's what I'm saying. Like it's a conversation we should probably just have in private and then just talk amongst ourselves about it, because this is like, it's not necessary for me to tell all that. But okay, anyway, we'll talk about it later.
I got some stories too, but I don't want to be telling folks business in this house.
Ooh. Yes, sir. So okay, no, I'm not. But so, is there some truth to cultural differences?
Like, yeah.
Well, I'm talking about sister in her in-house experience.
It's more overlooked and forgiven.
Yeah.
People talk about it. People talk about you at the dinner table, but still embrace you and act like it never happened in your face. Where we are a lot more outspoken. At the spades table, we go tell you a nasty trash. You messing with your sister husband, oh nasty ass. That's us.
Right.
They just, it's fine. Love is love.
My goodness. Okay, I am gonna say, okay, then I'm gonna tell y'all this one thing, and I'm gonna move on to Project 2025. There was a Caucasian woman that sat in my house for 3.5 hours while I sat there and played dominoes, and I met her at work, and I did not know why she was there. And then the next day, she went over another coworker's house, and he came back to work and told me how he knocked her down. And I said, that's why she was sitting there for 3.5 hours.
Yep. She was ready for you to, she was ready for you to lay that big six, brother.
Brother, I did not know. And I was like, me and my kinfolk was sitting there. It was just me and him sitting there playing down. I was like, man, this is weird. Why is she just sitting here? And I was, okay, anyway. It was crazy.
Black would have said something.
Oh God!
If it was Black, she wouldn't have been there but 5 minutes.
I
figured out what she was doing there. But Britton, I love your morals and your values.
It was none. I just didn't know, and I was afraid. I just
Black would have knew why she was there. He would have already knew.
I promise you, there was no moral compass. There was just ignorance. I didn't know. Okay. I'm sorry. So I just like all the thought, what Mississippi Burn didn't run through your head. It's like, man, I'm not gonna get caught up in this. I said, I don't know what's going on, and and she sat there for 3.5 hours, and I was like,
good job.
Well, all right. Project 2025. I really believe a lot of people are not aware of what's going on right underneath our noses. I mean, this dude is literally, this is why we don't understand politics, because it's ran by people we don't understand. And in reality, this dude that is a convicted felon is literally trying to do a science fair project in the middle of this country for him to never leave office again.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what Project 2025 is, you need to look it up on YouTube. And you need to watch it.
Watch that video. Yeah.
Because he's literally doing this underneath our noses. And again, I know why people don't want to vote. What you say? Yeah. Well, yeah. I know what he would have done. And again, so yeah, no. I'm glad we didn't meet each other when I was younger. That would have been bad. So anyway, what do you take? And that's all I'm asking. I know we can't just get into it in its entirety through the weeds. I really just hope this dude don't get in office. And again, you just don't know. But if you saw it, what did you take? What stood out to you the most as the most just over the top, the audacity of this whole situation? Black, what did you take from Project 2025 that can help the people?
I'm gonna be honest. I have not even gleaned it.
I
didn't have an opportunity, so I'm relying upon you guys.
Okay.
Well,
one thing. Okay, so okay, go ahead, Kenny. What did you take from this?
The three things that stood out to me, and it's a 7-minute video that you posted, Brent. I would suggest anybody to watch it. I mean, 7 minutes. Just check it out because I wasn't familiar with it, but I watched it. The three things that I took from it: that this project 2025 is supported by 100 conservative organizations. So bear that in mind. This project is going to be it's conservative driven. So remember that. Number two, former officials in the Trump organization is a part of this project 2025.
Yes.
Remember, that's very important to remember about this paraphernalia, is what I'm calling it. And B, one of the biggest things, it wants to abolish abortion. It wants to control being women's bodies. They want to create a group that basically they want to have a whole different type of executive organization that pretty much gets the FBI, the Department of Justice, give them lesser powers. Basically, they don't want the president to have checks and balances where the president can basically do and say and pass whatever he feels. So Project 2025, I would suggest anybody to watch this video so you'll be informed on it because it's dangerous material. That's my thoughts on it.
Right. And literally they're vetting people. They got to go through this academy,
right?
That trains you on how you're supposed to respond to Donald Trump.
Right.
And if you're not coming or you're not showing your allegiance, I mean, we are entertained by what's the Hunger Games, but y'all are just what do they call those people that lived in that town on the Hunger Games?
I never watched it, so
I never seen it either.
I've only seen one, and I don't remember, but
but whatever those group of people that were living life better than the people that were from the Hunger Games. Literally, y'all. Did you get a chance to watch it, sister?
No, I didn't. But just from Ken talking, it's just giving dictatorship. But and people will only be okay with it if they think it benefits them, of course.
Right.
But what people don't know is things that look like they benefit you at first, after a while, no longer benefit you because they realize they have to start at the lower level and then they eventually just work their way up. But there's a lot of intelligent people in this state, not the ones following Trump out loud. I'll say that. But there are a lot of intelligent people that I don't think would allow the extremism of. They will when it benefits them, like anti-abortion and stuff like that, because can't keep up certain class of people and certain race of people if everybody's not having babies and giving babies, because they don't give a damn if we have an abortion. Let's be honest, y'all. But I just don't think a lot of the thing when it starts to affect the right people, we'll say that 1% of people, then I think people will start to speak up and care.
Hey, my sister, good to see you.
Hey, what's up, Miss Story?
To go straight to hell with the father. Yeah, but here's the thing, and I'll move on from this. He's literally trying to put people in place that if the Constitution says ABC, that people are going to give him the authority to say, we're going to rewrite these things. Like they want families to go back to gender roles and all of these different type of conservative right-wing position. It's not good, right? It's making the LGBTQ community just really become very angry. So if nothing else, y'all check it out so y'all can see what's going on. Because
Brent, let me say one more thing real quick. Just another thing to inform y'all. Hey, Issachar. They say they want to implement this thing first thing January 2025. And they said the most important part of implementing this project 2025 is the first 180 days. Mm-hmm. So what that means is they gonna come in this thing, they pulling out all the stops, they loading the guns, and they shooting bullets.
Yeah.
So educate yourselves. Again, I'm not telling if you vote, but educate yourselves on all this propaganda that's out here, and know what's happening, because again, this dude could possibly be president. And I don't think people really believe this cat might get elected. It could happen, and this is where we're going to be.
And again, this is one thing I don't want to be right about. I don't want to be right that people don't care enough, and we think that. Listen, you ever remember a time where people told you that the justice system was on lock, couldn't nobody penetrate, and all that kind of, and then 9/11 happened? Again, everybody thought we were safe until we weren't. So I just want y'all to know it's not something we're gonna just mess around with. She said some people think it was better when he was in office only for the free money. He puts us in more debt than any president ever. I agree, Miss Toria. And again, what's good? What's free money when you go to jail for a little bit of weed? I don't think it really matters that you get some money if you ain't gonna be able to spend it. Yes, sir. All right. Well, listen. As this gets closer, we'll talk about this thing more. But my brother, it's your sports time, man. Give it to us.
Let's go on and get in here and get out of here real quick. We talk about the NBA. I do have to mention the Lakers. The Lakers thought that they thought they was going to the prom with one date, and that date said nah, so they got stood up. So he decided to and I think it's a good move. If you don't know, the Lakers were courting the coach out of UConn, Dan Hurley. He turned down a 7-year, $60 million deal, I believe.
A year or 60?
No, 7 years, $60 million to stay at UConn. So that was the big news today. So now they go back to the drawing board to see who they can see who LeBron James is going to pick as the coach of the Lakers.
Exactly
that way. Yeah. So that was the big news today. But let's talk about the NBA Finals, Celtics and the Mavs. God, my doggone Mavs down 2-0. I ain't a Mavs fan, but I'm rooting for the Mavs. But jeez, it's not. It's kind of tight for them right now. They lost last night, and we got Kyrie Irving got to show up. He hasn't had to. He hadn't played well the first two games. But let's talk about head coach of the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla. By the way, if you don't know, he's black. I don't know if y'all knew that. Did y'all know Joe Mazzulla was black?
I did.
I knew he wasn't white. I didn't know what he was.
Okay.
I thought he was Muslim.
Lady D, do you know who the head coach of the Celtics is, Joe Mazzulla? Have you seen him? Any pictures of him? Okay. All right.
I only the head coach of the Mavericks. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, in his post-game presser after game one, a reporter asked him a very good question. I don't know if you guys know, but this is the first NBA final since 1975 where you had two black head coaches.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
And a reporter asked Joe Mazzulla this question, and he had an interesting response. Roll that sound for me, Brother Brent.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Joe. Ben School, Yahoo Sports. For the first time since 1975, this is the NBA Finals where you have two black head coaches. Given the plight sometimes of black head coaches in the NBA, do you think this is a significant moment? Do you take pride in this? How do you view this, or do you not see it at all?
I wonder how many of those have been Christian coaches.
That was his response, and I have a take, but I love the look on Lady D face when he gave his response. So I will start with you, Lady D. What is your thoughts on his response to that question?
I don't get it. I don't think what was that for? That was dumb. Like, you couldn't think of nothing else to say. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I'm really confused. You know that meme where you just look stupid? I feel stupid. Like, I want to undo what he said. Can we? I don't really get it. Like, I know. Like, I don't know why he said that. It's almost like he didn't want. You don't want to say anything to upset the masses, which is the majority of the white population, where the money comes from, the other coaches. And so you just say something dumb. Like, I don't really get it.
All right, Brother Black. I definitely want to hear your thoughts, your reaction to his response to that question.
Lady D, I saw it completely differently. In fact, I thought it was a brilliant response, if you want to know the truth.
Yes.
I thought the question was valid, considering that a reporter's job is to point out something that's obvious and that it hadn't happened. But I like his response. He normalized in that one quick clip, for me, how I took it, he normalized that this is the way it should be. You wouldn't be asking two white coaches that this, that, and the other. And it was a loaded comment in a sense for me that if you're going to make it important, the fact that I'm a black man, how about let's talk about what's important maybe to me, that I'm a Christian. So I like the idea that if you're going to start segmenting this, let's go to what's important to me. And so for me, I loved his response in the sense that he normalized the fact that I see where you're going. I'm not mad with this is how I took it. I'm not mad with the question, but it should have always been this way. The system has put us in this position where we haven't had enough black coaches. The fact that we're talking about this right now, the bigger question is, why since 1975 have we just now had a situation where there are two African-American coaches when African-Americans make up the bulk of the league? Where's the progress that we always talk about is coming? So to me, it spurred a conversation in my head that, because to your point, Kenny, it gets overlooked, the fact that you mean to tell me all of the teams that have come forward in all these years, that these black millionaires have only been led by white coaches that we never had? Why is it such a big deal when we saw this in a Super Bowl? Two African-American quarterbacks. It speaks to the institutionalized racism that's still a part of our sports atmosphere. And he raised the bar for me by bringing in Christianity. I loved it.
Okay. I have a totally different take, but I see your perspective, Brother Black. Brother Brenton, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I would have preferred more context, just so that, again, it's no different than Kyrie up there with his, water moccasin, tennis shoes on, and what did he have on his hat the other day? Something knee growth or organic knee growth or something he had on his head, his cap he was wearing. And so I don't, again, it's one thing to I understand what he was saying, but in that moment, did it really serve the purpose it was intended? Because normally you wearing a hat or you're wearing something or you're drinking something, it's there to promote something. And that's why you do those things. So in that moment, to promote Christianity like that, it fell flat, in my opinion, because maybe you're a good person. I don't know. You don't talk a lot. So again, even Steve Kerr, he speaks well about the things he concerns about. And what's the one in San Antonio? Popovich.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't take a stand for nothing, bro. So I don't. Again, if you're gonna do that, then let me see you do that, and not just this. Because guess what? I didn't know you was black or Christian until that you said it. So again, if you want to promote something, well, do more than just make that statement. So let us see. And again, he may be doing it, but in that moment,
that's what I loved. He normalized it. That why is it an issue?
Again, I respect everybody.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Am I the only one that heard I'm not black, I'm OJ? Like, that's the kind of stuff that
you get ready to take my thunder. That's
what I heard. I'm not black, I'm OJ.
What I heard too.
Like, why are we avoiding the fact that you're black?
That's kind of what I heard. That was my perspective. I feel like I was sitting here in OJ 2.0 again. And why I say that, because OJ didn't feel like he was black until he was in that trial. Then he wanted to accept that he was black, and he loved his black folks. But and I get what your perspective is, Lee. But my thing is to throw that out about those other two head coaches asking were they Christian. To me, now you're being condescending. Your response is condescending about those two black coaches that did it before you. So to me, you showed a lack of respect for someone that kicked the door open for you to be there. So I just thought his answer was contrite. It was a little bit condescending to me, and I think it was a little bit. He should have gave us a little bit more. I'm not saying you should sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm happy that I'm one of the first. I'm one of the blacks." I'm not saying you had to do that, but give us something more than what you gave us. Because to be honest with you, if it wasn't for Ime Udoka getting in his situation in Boston, you wouldn't even be sitting where you sitting. Who is a black man? So come on. I get what Black is saying, but I just thought that he had a moment right there that he could have really just like, you know what? I'm standing on the shoulders of those that came before me. I don't want this to be about a black issue, but we're gonna move this thing forward, and hopefully we'll see more black coaches in this position.
I saw it completely different, and I took it as somebody saying, Freddie, you speak real well for African American. Bitch, am I not supposed to be? I'm educated.
But
that's how I saw it. I saw it. That's why I said it. For me, I understand the question because they had a responsibility to point out the obvious.
Right.
But I perceived it completely different, and
that's cool too. But we all got different perspectives.
Yeah,
I see your perspective, but I still think he dropped the ball. I think Joe Mazzulla dropped the ball with that sound clip, in my opinion.
But let's remember what city he's representing.
I know Boston, right? We already know the history of that city.
That don't take kindly to the us's.
Ask Bill Russell.
But that's what. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I said if you
that even further entrenches me in my point.
Well,
in a city that has a history of racism. And again, it's a backhanded compliment from me to speak on the fact that I'm so happy to be here. We gonna do a good job, y'all. That's why I took it that way.
And I didn't. I didn't take it that way.
So I would just say I want to hear more from him now. Since you say that, let me hear more from you, and then we can.
I agree.
Okay,
I agree with points of all of y'all make too.
Sure.
So to your point, where he may have dropped the ball. He could have taken, for me, I wish he had taken it further and said what I just said.
Right. Because Popovich and Kerr, they'll say what they want to say. And as much as it probably would have gotten them in trouble, Joe, if that's what you're going to stand on, then let's go on and push the envelope.
He did have
That's right. Let's go. Right. Yeah.
So I don't disagree with that part, but I thought it was savvy.
All right.
You thought it was savvy. And I thought it was OJ.
Well, let's get us some milk and cookies now, I guess.
All right. So hey, that was a good sports segment. I knew the family's gonna bring it. I was like, let us talk about this. And, so we're gonna keep it popping. And y'all know how I do. I can't leave this segment because you know what? It's always a great day to be a Green Bay Packer fan. Back to you.
DJ, I agree.
What do you say? I agree 1,000, but he's in one of the most racist. Yeah, that's exactly. He answered. Yeah, exactly. So let me see you do more, boss, and then we'll go from there. Okay, well, Kenny, stay up there because I want to bring up this conversation now about the MLB all of a sudden adding again. This is. I see everything lining up. Now, out of all these years, you want to now add the Negro, the Negro League
stats to the
MLB, which then knocks out Babe Ruth.
No, it don't knock him out. It just knock him down a notch.
Well, that's what I mean. He's not the because
Babe Ruth wasn't the home run leader anyway. It was Barry Bonds.
That's got an asterisk on it. So again,
but it asterisk aside, it ain't Babe Ruth. It's Barry Bonds.
But then when you take this whole league and now it just rewrites all the history of white people, it's like I mean, I guess it's better late than never, but I don't know. I mean, put it in perspective, I guess, bro. And then if we got something to say about it, we'll say.
I put it
Now,
in
that's where I
perspective.
want to hear your take.
But
Mhm.
I'm gonna do like the Willie D, one of the great rappers for the legendary group the Ghetto Boys. I'm gonna do this real quick and I'm gonna get it going. Long overdue. This should have been done years ago. And they had a chance to do this in 1969, by the way. There was a Major League Baseball committee that had the chance to bring the Negro League stats over to the Major League Baseball stats, and they did not even take a vote on it. And obviously, we can understand why in 1969, Brother Black and I, we were born in the late 60s, and we all know during the late 60s, guess what? This country was still dealing with racial inequities and all that stuff. And so I get it. These old white baseball writers don't want the hallowed baseball records to ever be touched and to be the legendary whites that own the records. They didn't want them to be going astray because of the Negro League baseball players who, by acknowledgement, were better athletically. They were putting up the same stats as the Major League Baseball. So now Rob Manfred, back in December of 2020, he said that, hey, we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna bring the Negro League records. They're gonna be part of Major League Baseball. It took 4 years for it to happen. Here we are. Now, a lot of the records, Josh Gibson, if you know of Josh Gibson, one of the best Negro League players ever. Catchers, power hitters. He owns now like 3 of 4 of the Major League Baseball records now. He is number 1 in a couple of different categories. So I would say this. I would say it's better late than never, but this has been long overdue. This should have been happened long before now. But I think this is a testament to those descendants of these Negro League players. This is a beautiful moment for them to have their family members' records now recognized by Major League Baseball. And again, I think it's a good thing. In my opinion.
Yeah. And in an era where everybody is making up their own truths and their own facts, at this point, it just loses its gusto for me, because it's like, white people just say, well, I don't accept that. I don't believe that. So, you know what? And they can say that, but the Jay-Z has a great line. He said, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. Them numbers don't lie. You right about that. So
numbers don't lie.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, let me add my little
oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please.
If you will.
Yes.
While I don't disagree with nothing, not one iota of what my brother, Capricornian brother, had to say, I don't believe it's for altruistic reasons that they did it.
Okay.
Nothing happens in one of the 4 major sports without there being some benefit. And so every single thing you said, Brother Kenny, is 1,000% accurate. And to the Jay-Z line, it is true. Having said that, the descendants, how much pride can you have? These people are dead and gone, this, that, and the other. And then I have a simple thing, that I always say on the job that pays me. I don't give a damn what you call me. You want to show me you appreciate me? Give me some time off or give me some money.
I know that.
So if we're not talking about reparations and truly taking care of the beneficiaries of these records, why now?
That's
everything you said is correct, but to me, and it's long overdue, all of those things are true. This is about the globalization of the game. When Major League Baseball is sitting there watching what NFL has been able to do, what the NBA has been able to do, and they're watching those numbers, they did something that in 2024 that basically embraced and put their arms around something that for many Americans who consider baseball America's pastime, they don't care. But it's for the globalization of the game. It opens up the doors for more marketing and those marketing dollars, because now you get to bring in a segment that wasn't a part of this before and embrace your arms. So a little too late. Falling on deaf ears, Brother Brenton. But again, they're getting a benefit from this.
That's
in
true.
my
You're right.
opinion. There is
No,
a
you're right.
monetary material benefit that they're going to get from this.
No, you're right. You're right, Black. I hadn't thought about it, but I totally agree with that. It's definitely a monetary benefit they're gonna get from it for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you, Miss Toria. Everybody, we're always looking to move the needle forward, but you know, again, like you said, there's always Jack the Ripper. You got to pay somebody somewhere. All right, sister, I know you ain't caring about all that, right?
Y'all know I'm a very untrusting human. I just don't ever think anything is done for any good reason. I always think there's some agenda or there's some money, something. I don't ever trust it because I don't think they give a damn. If they gave a damn, they would have gave a damn years ago. So why do you give a damn today? I just don't trust it. I think there's an agenda. I never know if it's for capitalism or if it's to piss white people off. So more of them will want to vote for Trump. Like, I always think there's always a reason that's not pure or good.
Yeah. Again, so we say recognition, put your gasoline drawers on and get on out of here. But right, that's it. But you know, as of now, ladies and gentlemen, just give them their recognition then. Why not? So, all right, well, listen, I ain't gonna make it no better now. So just God help us all. I'm gonna show us an image, and I just want to know what you think about this image, and then let's talk about it. When I put this image up, there's an umbrella. It says Christ, husband, and it has things listed. It says wife and then children. I want you all to know, although they may pull this from certain scriptures, this did not come from the Bible. This came from another gentleman in a religious organization. But when you see this picture, I'm gonna start. I'll lay it easy. Let me start with Kenny. We'll work our way on over. But what does it say to you, Kenny, when you see this picture?
That's for me, my personal experience. That is what going to church. That's what I was taught. That was the chronological order of how it's supposed to be. So
okay,
that's what I was taught.
Right. Okay.
Do I agree with it? Not really, but that's what I was taught.
Okay,
Ooh,
sure.
I'm curious, what parts don't you disagree with?
We're gonna talk about it. Let me just give everybody that. Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
Go
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna give us all the ample time with this one. So, sister, what do you see when you see this?
Actually, just like Kenny, I see what I was always taught my entire life.
Yeah.
Which is a whole bunch of bullshit, but that's what I was taught.
We're gonna get there. Just a second. I'm trying to ease the folks into this moment. All right, Black.
I'll make it a clean sweep. My studies of the scriptures teaches me this is the exact scriptural order that things should be in, and I love the fact that it's tinted with umbrellas and not a bunch of bullshit.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, well, this again, Miss Toria, here we are again with our perspectives. So, okay, Kenny, what about that you don't agree with?
I think, can you put it up again so we can kind of look at it? Yeah, if you don't mind, please. Sir.
Yes.
I think the husband wife part. I do believe the husband is protect and lead and provider. I definitely believe that, but I also think that it's a partnership. So I don't think the husband is necessarily above the wife. I think they are side by side, where they're doing it as a team. That's the only part I disagree with. I agree with the subtitles, subtext is under that. But I just think that the husband and wife is more, in my opinion, is more side by side. That's the part I don't agree with.
Right. So when it says a picture says 1,000 words, the problem with this picture is that the words that are being said can sometimes be confusing. And the reason why I say that is because anytime you show a diagram, a illustration, people are looking to learn not only how to it to be taught, but then how it's practiced. And the problem is that you can't practice this, and you can't see it consistently in the life of people. And there's multiple reasons why. And here's one. Number one, because what happens when the husband umbrella is a crackhead, bad with money, he's a womanizer, right? And here it is.
You ought to give him the big piece of chicken.
That's right.
Right.
And
then again, here it is. Yeah. The wife. And no shade, I'm just telling the truth. She's unlearned, right? She has a lot of trauma. I mean, these things are not consistently practiced. Here's the third one, and then let's talk about it. This says that men submit to Christ, women submit to husbands, and then children submit to wife. Again, the way it's illustrated sounds good, but it's not practiced. Because you don't have men who submit to Christ. Again, we're talking about, if we're being contextual, Christ is considered our brother, not God the Father. And so again, this looks like a moment of everybody's being lorded over. And here's the problem with this. Christ has never forced himself on anyone or made anyone to be lorded over. But the problem is men will take this and try to lord over women and then lord over children, but yet and still don't want to be lorded over by Christ. So, again, I'm just talking about the nuances. If I'm being honest, this is basically what Project 2025 is doing, is lullabying folks to sleep. Because it looks pretty, the colors look nice, right? All the big piece of chicken. And again, these people that were taking this into consideration were beating their wives and saying that, you submit to me. Jesus never beat you, clown. So again, how would you consider to apply that if you were taught like that? And I know, again, sister said it's bull.
That's why I want to hear from Lady D why it's a bunch of bullshit.
This is why. And it's not even for the reason that you may think. I don't think this is possible in 2024. I think this meant something in 1950. I think the foundation of family was totally different in 1950. And I think it was possible for a man to be this and do all of this financially, mentally, and all of that. I just don't think this model is possible today for most people. And for a lot of men who are capable financially and mentally of doing this, they don't do it right. They turn into punk ass puff daddies who use this as a way of manipulating women to believe that they are the head of household, to take advantage of them and to mistreat them and to tell them you need to know your place. You need to know your role. So that's why I think it's BS. And then you have people who are pastors who have preached this model and who also take advantage of it and don't do any of it. So that's why I say it's BS. I think maybe at some point it wasn't as much BS, so we had no knowledge of it. But in 2024, that's absolute BS, because I think any woman in her right mind would be a fool to lay down and let a man completely lead her blind as own and assume that she might not go off a cliff at some point. You have to pay attention and you have to learn to share that role in some way without me emasculating you, making you feel less than the man, and all of these things. I'm not taking away from your masculinity and your role as a man, but I ain't no damn fool. And that's just not possible today, because not everybody's saved. I'll just say that.
For sure. And lastly, before I give it to you, Black, what you just said, Devin, was 1000% correct, because the discipline a husband has to have, if you have all of those things, you have the capability to provide, you have the capability to protect, and you have the capability to lead, you're supposed to do it under the submitting of Christ and his teachings. So again, once you don't accept Christ's teachings, then this goes away. This is null and void. If you don't have the discipline to use your money wisely and not take advantage of your spouse, not take advantage of your children, because you're doing things the way you want to do it, then all of that is null and void. So if you're not, again, if this is what you believe, if you're not practicing to a point where Christ is leading you, as this umbrella is stating, right? Because these are coverings. This is what they're supposed to be. And if you're not being covered, guided by Christ, then the rest of this is history. Don't ask to be considered the overseer over all the rest of the things, and you're not choosing to do that on your own. Go ahead, Black.
Okay, can you put that graphic back up?
Sure, yes, sir.
So I'll start with where you ended right there. Mm-hmm. This is where I think we're shooting the messenger. The reason why I love the picture of it, Victoria Lovett being on the umbrella, because of the point you made, Brenton. That's a covering. But I also agree with you, Devin, in a sense. I wouldn't have chose the words that is bullshit, but I understand it and agree with it from the context that it's not practical. And it's for a lot of the reasons that Brenton just named. It's not practical in the sense that, look at the words underneath the umbrella. That's why I actually like the covering. I think that the primary caregiver and teacher of children is the wife. And I think the husband is supposed to be in place. Notice the word I'm using, supposed to protect the family, lead the family, and provide for families. And all of that, I do believe in my heart of hearts. As fucked up as I am in my views of women, the reason why I've never remarried is because I believe at its core, the covering should be all under the teachings of Christ. And I don't view Christ as my brother. I view him as the head of God's organization. So I don't believe in the Trinity teaching. But what makes this impractical and bullshit, as you say, Devin, is the fact that it's become antiquated. It's become outdated. And it's the same reasons why so many other things get blamed on the scriptures when it's not the scripture's fault. It's the teacher and those who practice it. I don't have a problem with the teachings of the Bible, but the practical application of it doesn't fit in today's nuclear families. And so I personally believe that when we see words like head and leader, those get a bad word. We even taken out of marriages a simple word called obey, because the connotation that it brings is that I'm going to lord over you. That's not how I took it. That's not how I view it. But in today's context, to get a woman to be willing to submit, now to your point, Lady D, I wouldn't expect somebody to submit if I'm not a good leader. And in order to be a good leader, this is where the umbrella pictorial for me would make sense, that if I was leading from the perspective of Christ, where I would be showing that love and patience with my wife and family, being a good provider, this would work. But we're so far removed from this particular covering that that's what to me makes it outdated and impractical. And in this sense that now that we are living so independent of that top umbrella, because let's face it, the broke leg preachers, the beating, cheating husbands, the no good, filthy, nasty, good bitch wives, and the unruly, badass kids have made that umbrella null and void.
I agree, sir. Thank you. So I'll end with this, and then we'll move on to the next part. This is what I want to tell everybody. I know the other part is being used in Genesis where y'all talk about women are supposed to be helpmates. And I just want to tell y'all, and you read your Bible a little bit closer, because if you see the correlation, it was about mating. So man could not live alone because he needed help mating, because he had the animals to mate. And he said, we don't have a suitable helpmate. I mean, he couldn't sleep with the other animals. So again, y'all taking these things and y'all are twisting them as she's supposed to help me get my money. She's supposed to help me get a job. Well, no, she ain't supposed to help. She's supposed to help you have babies because one of the things that I was supposed to do was procreate. Thus, you couldn't procreate without a suitable help mate. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Well,
No, you good.
yeah. So again, just again,
Great topic. Love this family.
Yeah, great
Amen.
topic. Yeah,
That's
great
what we do
topic.
here. So again, we go from talking about umbrellas and now Digging finna get a shovel. Devin getting a shovel. And getting in somebody's business. So
Okay, so that was interesting. So I'm trying to figure out what direction I want to go in.
I know, right? Yeah, you're right.
Like I need to lighten the mood. So I'm gonna ask y'all, when I was doing what I do on every day, Monday through Sunday, which is mind my business, I come across Martin Lawrence looking like a 90-year-old getting led up the stairs, waving at people, like Ali when he was going to the Olympics.
The Olympic torch, yeah.
Torch.
with the
And
Parkinson.
everybody's concerned about Martin and saying he don't look well, something looks wrong. I don't know if y'all have had a chance to view that. And I'm gonna say what I think about it in a second. But I was wondering if y'all had a chance to see that and kind of what y'all thought about it. Britton, did you see?
I did see him looking decrepit. I did see him. I'm waiting on him and Jamie to tell us what really happened. So, and that's the thing.
Right.
We've gotten so used to being in everybody's business that when we're not in people's business, we kind of, we feel some type of way. I mean, the boy did a movie, so I don't know what the heck wrong with it. Maybe he had a back spasm. I don't know, but yeah, he looked funny doing it. But I don't know. I'm really tripping about artificial intelligence right now. I have to second guess and third guess everything I'm seeing now. And I have to wait for everything. So yeah, I mean, he talking decent. Like I said, he just did a whole movie. So I don't know what the heck that was about. It just looked like just a bad angle, and you look silly, boy. You think you being funny, but you looking like you just got to getting that crack pipe or something. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah. Although I have my doubts about Jamie Foxx and what happened, because I just felt like he has had perfect timing because a movie came out right after that saying he was cloned and all that. So I have my doubts about something really happening to Jamie Foxx. But Ken, Martin is on a promo tour right now. And so do you think he's just putting on like he's good so that it doesn't hurt the movie or the image of the Bad Boys?
I think you're right, and I would say this: the movie did great numbers. I think it made 53 million this weekend, so it opened up to great numbers. I think there's something physically, health wise wrong with Martin. I mean, he's 59. I just want to make sure he's 59. And I recall when they did the reunion show. They did the Martin reunion.
He did look weird.
He showed some things. He just it ain't even about his look; it's about his speech. His speech is totally different. I think it's slurred. I think it's slow, and I think it shows some effects of Parkinson's. That's just my opinion from looking from outside, because that's one of the things that I noticed from Parkinson's syndrome when someone has it. A lot of times their speech changes, and his movements are a little bit slower. So I definitely think there's something health-wise going on, but I also get it. They don't want all that out there. I get it. You still want a little bit of your privacy, but don't fake the funk with us. We love you. Our eyes don't lie. My eyes ain't lying, Martin. You ain't the same Martin from Bad Boys 3,
right?
And that's so. But I say this: that's okay too. That's okay if you're not the same. Just as long as you getting whatever help you need, but he definitely isn't the same. I think it's something wrong.
Did y'all see the movie yet?
No, I haven't.
No. I haven't seen the last couple ones. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
The reviews are good on this Bad Boys 4, by the way, from what I've read.
Yeah. Well, Black, I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna get your opinion. I watched a reality show probably about a year ago, and it was somebody on the show that I liked a lot. She ended up with like breast cancer. And she was advocating for women to go out and get their mammograms and blah, blah, blah. And because of this, I literally scheduled my mammogram like the next day. And I got that done because that was eye-opening for me. Do you think Martin has a duty to his fans if something is wrong with him to say, you need to pay attention to your health? We aren't the best as men with taking care of ourselves. Or is it just simply respect his privacy and I'm going to fake it till I make it?
I love your question.
That's great.
And the answer to it is he doesn't have a responsibility, but I wish he felt that way. I wish more men felt that way. But he doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us a window into his life. He has every right to keep something for himself and to be private. But I wish he felt that way and that level of responsibility because he is who he is. And you bring up so much in this short take. Kenny, you mentioned his age. Lady D, you mentioned that this is a promo. Martin Lawrence has always struck me as an individual that he doesn't like the side of the business that requires him to do promos. Will Smith loved that shit. Give me a camera. He's there showing up to promote it. There are certain actors and actresses that part of the business, they just don't love. Monica famously does not travel to promote. She just doesn't do it. Patti LaBelle doesn't do it. I think this is a part of the business that when it comes to the selling the movie, and if you know anything about the junkets that they have to go on, it's a lot of work. Being up early, promoting a movie, you don't get to 53 million without appearing on every freaking talk show that's out there to get that word out, the millions of dollars that's spent. And I'm glad you mentioned his age, Brother Kenny, because I'm 56. Now, while I don't know if it's Parkinson, I always thought maybe this was some residuals of a stroke that we weren't told about. But I can sit here and tell you, sitting here right now, I'm a fat black SOB that ain't had a stroke or nothing, and I got all kinds of issues going on with me. I ain't gonna be walking for long. I don't stand for long. And there's certain shit that I'm just not gonna do because I'm pissing in a goddamn bucket at night because of diabetes, and some shit that I have to go through because that son of a bitch above me is stomping around, which I'm gonna be calling on his ass as soon as I get off. Having said that, my thing is, I think this just slaps up that look, he's older, he's tired, he's not as in good a shape as some, and this is the part that he doesn't love. But lastly, I'll close, Lady D, where you asked. This is why I talk about women do a much better job, as you just mentioned, of sending out the warning signs to other women. How many men do you know, especially black men, that are coming forward to tell other men to get your prostate cancer checked, to make sure you get checked for stroke, get your cancer screening? Name me somebody that does that. We just don't see it. And I wish we took on that responsibility a little more. And I'll end by saying I've been encouraging every black man I see, get yourself an African-American primary care physician. We owe it to ourselves to go see doctors as often as women do, and to make sure that we're sitting across from somebody who understands us culturally. Because when you're sitting there with Wang Wong and Ping Pong and all these other sons of bitches, oh, you're feeling good, Mr. Day. Fuck that shit. I need somebody who knows my diet, knows my lifestyle, and that can look at my fat black ass and say, you need to do this, that, and the other.
Hey.
Alrighty then.
Hey, can we clip the Wing Wong and Ping Pong part? Can we clip that? Can we clip that part, please?
DJ, I like that you said that, but let me also say this to you, DJ. Yes, the lie sounds better, but when he was quote unquote sick, that's when they were also promoting his movie. So if he was well when he filmed it, it could still be logical that he was hiding something after the movie was filmed, because that's when you promo it. So yes, the lie does sound good, but it's just a little weird to me. And I also will say, I will leave it with this. I don't know why there is such a shame with things going on with men and black men. But when I look at Martin, there's a couple things that I can see. I get the whole Parkinson's thing. But a lot of times for people, and I'm not saying this happened to Martin, but when a lot of times when people suffered alcoholism and they've been drinking like a fish their whole life since they were like a teenager until they couldn't, they develop this alcohol induced, it's like a dementia, and it makes you come across like somebody who's had Parkinson because it messes with the frontal lobe.
Oh, okay.
Speaks to me. He gives me Wendy Williams vibes because she started acting like that before she got sick.
Wow.
And when they asked him a question about who was his boy and who holds him down on an interview, he mentioned everybody but Will. And they were leaning him into saying Will because that's how you want to promote Bad Boys, because you want to think that these dudes are best friends. He never said that. He was talking about a dude that he went to school with since 3rd grade and all this other stuff. He just didn't get it. So Martin does not seem completely normal to me, but I don't know what it is. But I know when you have a lot of money, you engage sometimes in a lot of behaviors more than us that can come back and catch up with you later. But I want everybody to start saying those things because y'all be shocked how many people become afraid when they see someone they look up to going through stuff. If it's just a simple solution as drinking more water or checking your blood sugar, things like that, people actually listen. Because if it can happen to somebody who's a millionaire, our broke ass be gone by the weekend. So, but what's going on with Martin? I wish they would tell the truth because I don't think we would judge him. We're actually a very sympathetic community who would really him more.
Yeah.
With that being said, I will go back to minding my business. And I don't give a damn, Jamie. It was something to Jamie, DJ. I heard what you said. He was well when he filmed that movie, but when it was time to promote it, he gonna disappear. What he should have been doing to promote that movie was showed his in the bed with a bunch of tubes and shit coming out his ass and going in his ears. And then more people would have watched that dumbass movie because I saw it and it wasn't even that good. But if we would have thought he was sick and he needed $2 or $3 to make it off that movie, he should have showed him in there get his blood pressure and shit checked. But now what they do, they kept showing all these random ass people, and then his daughter talking about ain't nothing wrong with him. So that's why people don't believe nothing wrong with him. I'm done now.
Bravo, sis. Bravo. Sis.
We'll take a 10-second commercial break.
This is a test. This is only a test. This has been a test. Thank you.
Okay. We're gonna breathe here for just a second. Toria says diabetes too. You can get rid of. Definitely can get.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it, Toria.
Yeah.
Nah,
we don't do right though, Toria. They told my mama a long time ago if she lose 75 pounds, she wouldn't even have diabetes no more. Now she on insulin shots. So there you go.
I ain't got there. And to your point, DJ, I not only need better, I don't have any male friends here. That's why I got my brothers here and who actually check on me. Both these two men on this show, the slightest mention that I got something going on, I hear from both of these men. And DJ, Craig, I love you guys because y'all have become family.
Yes, sir. What's up, Craig? I'm glad somebody told me about that movie. I ain't sold yet, but I'll end up going to check it out eventually. I mean, they done stopped giving us them bootleg DVDs now, so listen, brother. I used to hit them up real good. So, all right. Well, listen. Quickly. I say quickly. Black don't even know who this man is, and that's cool.
He know now though.
He did. I mean, unfortunately, it's. I have no joy in talking about this because I respect this man, and again, if I had to choose a top 5 just in Texas alone about preachers that would be kind of considered a scandal. I mean, man, he'd be so far down the totem pole, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, Jake's Diddy, Osteen, evangelical, again. So, so this doesn't, but I'm only wrong until I'm right. And people, I've been trying to tell people, this ain't the year you really want to keep lying on them scriptures. And I don't know what Dr. Evans did. I'm not even going to speculate. I'll just wait to see what happened. But what I do, in some form or fashion, I do respect the fact that he's stepping down. And I only say that in this moment because I don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if the reason why he's stepping down, and again, if it take you this long to figure out that you need to step down for something that you did a long, long time ago, I have a problem with the people that's around you. And so if you haven't seen, there's an article that says that Dr. Evans is now stepping down from his lead role at his church in Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas. And so for me, the issue is that it's no different. And I'm not calling him Diddy. I'm just telling you about the way people handle relationships with men who have power. They turn a lot of blind eyes to things that they should not. This is really bad in the church. Again, I don't know what Dr. Evans did, so I'm just speaking about what I do know, which is men who deal with men in power because men in power give them power. They act like they don't see anything is wrong. So by Dr. Evans' own words, whatever he did was wrong sinfully. He said he didn't do anything criminally. And listen, these jokers going to town about what they think is going on. I'm gonna wait. But what I do know, I appreciate that he did it anyway. But I'm putting them other clowns on notice. I mean, this is one of the most upstanding guys I've known. And again, I don't put nothing past him. And so here we are today. But I'm telling y'all, you jokers that keep wanting to hold on to these things, and again, it's not about the sin, it's about you lying about the scriptures. At least Dr. Evans, for whatever reason, I mean, now you on your last round around the mountain. Now you decide to get somewhere and sit down, but whatever the case may be, it is what it is. You say what happened? Oh man, yeah, bro, he stepped down. Just look at.
Can I add my little 1-2 cents, and then
Yes, sir,
I'm done with it?
Mm-hmm.
This is very reason why I'm spiritual and I'm not religious. I don't respect what he did. The little story I wrote about it. I don't know the man from Adam. But if you've been serving in a leadership position for did he say 43 years?
48.
48 years, and you're stepping down because of something you did in your past, what the fuck took you so long?
That's a fair question.
So if you are righteous and ethical, where was that conscience at? I don't really give a damn about why you're doing it now. Did you get caught? And Lord knows, I hope it ain't for no immorality with his ugly ass. So my thing is that whoever gave him some draws, they all both ought to be banished from the church, So that's why I don't support jackleg sons of bitches like this. And so my thing is, you haven't done anything noble. My thing is that now it's coming to light. The moment you told me that this happened in the past, but you've been all this time getting up in the pulpit, still teaching and preaching, that's why I can't belong to any organization, because I don't respect the pulpit. And so I covered my relationship with God because of that reason, because I can't follow men at this point.
Yeah, no, again, fair. And again, this is why individuals have to take an account for their own actions. I'm in a situation currently where I'm dealing with people who are operating in this same manner, and nobody. Again, I don't respect you, just like I don't respect anybody who's been around. Bernie's son, whatever that boy mama name is, Sean Combs. I don't respect any preacher that is silently sitting by. Again, not sinning. Everybody sins. What I'm saying is you're lying on the scriptures. That's the guy I got a problem with. And so again, I'm going to stand here 10 toes down, and then whenever it comes, because now I see if Dr. Evans is not exempt, well, you clown show ain't. And so I'm gonna just wait it out, sister.
Well, I want to say this. Y'all know how people are with men or pastors in the church. They Betty Wright. It's don't blame Mr. Charlie. He can get away with anything because he's just a man. So, and Jamal Bryant been passing penis in the collection plate for years, and he hadn't had to step down yet. So whatever he did, it had to be pretty bad in order for him to step down, because there's very little, unless it's like money, pedophilia, it has to be something serious in order for him to actually step down. Because if it's just infidelity, they get a pass for that. Or if it's just for having 2-3 families in the congregation, they get a pass for that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is, it was something bad, especially for no one to express what it is. And this is the era of outing everybody. Everybody outing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the money has probably grazed some hands. And one of the things of it is now you got to step down before other people start coming out and outing you for whatever it is that he probably did. Because it was something bad. But I'm going to need somebody who didn't sign an NDA to come tell the business, because y'all know I want to know.
and we do. And again, I want to, just like you brought up earlier in the show about, the culture of the whites and how they accept things. There are things in the church.
Yes.
And again, because it's ain't a church show, so I don't want to go there. But I'm just saying, like, compared to other people, you compare Jamal Bryant and what those that follow him accept. There is a culture even in amongst different churches.
Yep.
So you have certain churches who look at their preacher is like very upstanding because nothing happened, and so that makes them look down on other churches. That you have preachers that are more salacious and they do stupid things. But again, it's so deep, and at some point, me and old Prophet Levi T, we're gonna have a conversation about this. I just need to wait for all this to come out.
Right.
Not you, Levi.
I respect
T.
that.
Yes, sir. Because again, man, because again, it's necessary. Somebody got to start we got to restore credibility back to the church. And that ain't what it is.
Can it be restored? That's
it's gonna take the consistency of people holding true. Don't move from the. Listen, I watched Gladiator. I watched 300. I know. Yeah, you may be standing by yourself, but it's okay. Again, if God be for us, it don't matter who's against us. So, I mean, it's a lot going on over here. Let's see what's going. It says we kicked him out of the church. Who?
She talking about Jamal Bryant. She talking about Jamal Bryant.
Community Bryant.
Got you. She says if Dr. Evans is trash, I just give up on people, man. A lot of people were questioning him getting married. So Fat, DJ, I'm going to wait, but I'm not going to stay silent.
DJ makes I want to address what he says. He says, I just give up on people, man. A lot of people were questioning him getting married, whatever. I just think this is where people in the church, man, y'all got to separate your emotions from logic. You really have to remember that those men that's leading these churches, before they put that doctor and all that in the front of their name, they are men.
They're men.
They ain't perfect. I know they're teaching the gospel and all that, but again, they got flaws. And so I would suggest that don't invest all your hopes and dreams and your faith in man.
That's my point.
I don't. Never have. I never have. Never will. But just
they shouldn't be leading either.
They right. I agree. That's a position that if you're going to accept that position, you got to be. There's a
moral responsibility
standard, and you owe a responsibility to the people you lead. So if you can't do that, then you shouldn't. Well, you know what? And I'm gonna leave that to.
I could be a phenomenal. But I'd be sleeping with everybody in there. No, I'm being as serious as a heart attack.
No, you probably,
I know the scriptures, and I think I'm a pretty good orator, but I also know my flaws, and that we gonna do some roly-poly nights, and I'm gonna put my hands on you and baptize you, no doubt about it.
Never mind. See, you know what? But what I was gonna say about Dr. Evans getting married soon, I actually don't even judge him for that, because
I don't either.
How many women from him being older want to be the first lady of the church? As soon as that lady died, they were showing.
They were lining up at the door.
Chicken, all kinds of
Right.
stuff to advertise
Right.
themselves to that man. And you know, they say the easiest way to get over somebody is to get under somebody. That's what I tell friends. People say you shouldn't tell your friends that. I don't give a damn. Be a hoe. You cry like you don't cry as long. But anyway, so it was easy for him to get over that. And his wife was probably that person under that umbrella. And he needed that. So I don't judge him for getting married fast because they were really probably lined up at the funeral home for him.
You know they were. You know they were.
Yeah.
My former church, Devin, and her.
All right, Martin. What was it called?
I knew you would get it. I knew she would get it. I knew she would get it.
Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Only us can make light of something like this right now. This is crazy.
Right,
So, okay,
right.
so I DJ, man, I don't want to make this conversation longer than it need to be. I really, there's a lot about scripture that I want to share, but we do, again, the Bible talks about in Psalms that we should not trust any man. And I don't trust men. I trust the Spirit of God in men, that if the Spirit of God is being used by you, then it should be consistent and it should always find itself lining up with the truth of Scripture. And again, Lord have mercy. If you just go to Revelations, no, okay, I ain't gonna do all that. All right, so I'm gonna just tell you, okay, I'm gonna say this. Catholicism was the first organized religion after Christ died. And they've been doing it wrong since the beginning because they tried to mimic it after Peter. Okay, so again, with all that being said, I'm getting at is that we got to start walking together with people who are we in community with, and then allowing people to demonstrate their understanding of Scripture by being able to demonstrate Scripture and believing how they behave. And we're not doing that. Everybody's doing something different. So, okay, man, we can have a conversation, bro. So, like, I know you. We cool. If you want to talk, let's talk because there is hope. But we got to stop sitting down at a table like we're at a buffet and start learning how to fish for ourselves, so that we can learn how to live for ourselves and not waiting on somebody to feed me. That's not how you teach somebody how to survive. So, okay. All right. That's enough. Would you say we don't worship the man, we learn from the message? I don't think anyone worship.
I disagree with that, DJ. I disagree.
Man, no.
People
Yeah,
do. People do worship pastors. They do.
Pastors and what? And Donald Trump. Yes, yeah, exactly. Yes. No. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. One more, and we getting out of here after Black. I think this is going to kind of tie into where Devin was getting on us about this going to the doctor stuff.
Oh.
You hurt my feelings. When we talk about you hurt my feelings as just men, women, Black people, what comes to mind when you hear that term? Like, just the first thing that comes to mind, and then I'll take us down this rabbit hole real quickly. You hurt me. You hurt my feelings. What does that say to you, sister?
Someone used their words to try to cut me.
Right. Black, you hurt my feelings.
The Bible talks about the power of the tongue.
Okay. Kenny, you hurt my feelings.
You didn't value how I felt about what you said.
Yeah. So when it's being presented, a lot of times men probably can't say that to other men because it comes across being soft. It's normally lended, and again, we're talking about double standards to women because it comes across feminine. In reality, you hurt my feelings says that I'm going to be vulnerable with you. And do I trust you enough to respond appropriately to the fact that you actually hurt my feelings? So, Devin, who do you give the opportunity to tell somebody that they hurt your feelings? Or do you?
I give everyone an opportunity to tell me that I've hurt their feelings, because I've hurt some feelings.
No. That somebody hurt your feelings.
That I say to a person they hurt my feelings.
Yes,
I recently learned how to do that.
Okay.
Because my normal response was "F you, I'm cutting you off."
That's right.
And so now I learned to say, they really bothered me. I have feelings too. If you want me to respect yours, you need to respect mine.
Right. But it comes with a wall, right? It comes with guns.
Well, no, I'm still gonna somewhat cut you off. I'm feeding you with a long handled spoon after that. But I'm gonna tell you first that you hurt my feelings. I ain't completely healed yet. But
yes, right? Because okay, Black.
Oh my God, I tell everybody. I just do it in a different way. As I've gotten older and I've evolved, you're 1000% correct. I look, I have my homophobic tendencies like every other man, around this joint. I ain't gonna be eating a banana and a popsicle in public.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, so I'm not gonna use those words. But when I was younger, I was more volatile, and defense was up. I would have been more defensive. And if you said something to hurt my feelings, you likely got cursed out, But as I've aged and I've centered myself with a certain level of peace, I have no problem now saying to somebody hurting my feelings, just not in those words. If somebody on this show says something to me that hurt my feelings, you're going to get a private contact with me. So it's about being respectful that, hey man, can I talk to you about something?
Right.
I mean, when you said such and such, that was a little bit offensive. What did you mean? I have learned to be patient and not assume. Don't jump to conclusions. But I say I'll do that with everybody, because one of the worst things you can do to me is disrespect me. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. And I even practice that in my daily work. I don't know these people I deal with, so I come from a background of retail for over 25 years. I'm okay if you don't like me, you don't like my voice, something I said, but what I won't tolerate is disrespect. And so if I'm not going to tolerate it from a stranger, it's even more so with somebody that I know, that I don't have a problem saying that, hey man, tap, 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 literal, figuratively, when you said that, what did you mean? Because I'm going to give you an opportunity to make sure that I heard what I heard. And then I'm going to be vulnerable to your point that, well, what you may not have known is X, Y, and Z.
Man, y'all lead me right to my point. Yes, sir. Kenny.
I can honestly say I definitely approach this differently when it comes to men and women. With a man, I'm gonna distance myself from you.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm not going to even bring it up. I'm definitely going to be a little bit more standoffish to you. That probably ain't the right way to handle it, but I'm just not going to even allow you to do that again. Far as from a woman perspective, I'm probably going to find a way to make a comedic event about it, just to make it some levity to it, and then say, you said this, that was kind of funny, but so that's kind of how I approach it with women. But with men, I'm not going to even bring it up. I'm just going to kind of distance myself and put that wall up. So I'm not going to allow that to happen again. So
yeah. What you say, Craig? When someone hurts my feelings, I tend to hold it in. I may dwell on it a few days and then I let it go. But I would probably look at it differently.
That's me, Craig. I kind of can relate to that.
We may have to come back to this when we do the Black Love series, because it's a lot I want to bring out. But I want to say this: feelings we're almost in a cold red danger, because we have put relationships so far back on a back burner that it's not even important. But our feelings are about as delicate as pearls, that we just don't just cast them among swine. But unfortunately, we have invested in people that didn't deserve it. We've not allowed time for relationships to brew, because what Black is talking about, as far as this group of people right here, we've built up a bank account that if there is a withdrawal being made of you taking from my feelings, well, there's enough in the account. You got to make sure you got enough in that emotional bank of whatever relationships that you're in that can stand you being honest with those people.
Brilliant.
Because the most important thing you have is your feelings, whether they're invalid. Now again, that can turn into some emotions, and then we can go to the fair and get on the rides and do all the other kind of stuff. But to be here's his word, be emotionally intelligent, you got to learn who to be able to extend your feelings to.
Right.
And if they hurt you,
right,
you got to make sure that was it intended or not. But again, that's about building the relationship. So again, I know we put up all these mechanisms and these resources to stop us from doing things, but we're doing more damage to ourselves by not allowing us to have honest and genuine relationships. We're gonna talk about this more on the show.
I love it.
Yeah. So again, you hurt my feelings. It's a word that's not really used. What's up, bro? Good to see you, man.
Hey, what up,
What's up,
fam?
Kennard?
What up, Kennard?
DJ says you'll never know if my feelings are hurt, and I don't care what people think. Laugh out loud. Life is too short to worry about pointless people's opinions, and that's great. That's a great point, and that's why we got to get to a place where we are finding meaningful relationships again in a world that is making it harder and harder for us to develop close personal relationships.
But can y'all admit that men are more sensitive?
I would admit that.
They're very difficult to talk to, and it's so easy to hurt your feelings, and it's so hard to be honest with you.
These new men.
I would admit that.
Because y'all take everything just to heart, and there's just even when there's no malice to it.
I would admit that. Yes, I agree.
I won't. I disagree.
Well, okay. So let me say that
my husband, we were watching something the other day, and he said, David, we should have a roast where we could roast each other. I said, no, we would never do that because we'll never come back from it. We'd have to get a divorce.
That's right. Because you're gonna get very personal.
You've never dealt with me, and it just wouldn't work. Because if we shut down and don't talk to each other for days, when I'm being honest with you with something that's important, we definitely can't have a roast. So because y'all just seem to be more sensitive, and it's harder to talk to y'all.
That's where I disagree. But I think
I agree.
Go ahead, Brother Kenny.
No, I agree. I think you're right. I think we are a little bit more sensitive when it comes to that. And we take it a little bit more to heart too. Especially when you what's up, Sherry? How you doing?
Sherry said, "Hey, family, if you hurt my feelings, I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna just have a Kenny.
Go ahead.
You're getting cursed out, and then I do."
we already know, Sherry. We know who your brother is. We know where y'all. You know what you come from. But I really do agree with Sister Devin. I think that men sometimes, and we won't admit it, but we can be a little bit more sensitive.
Behavior shows it.
Because we'll shut down. A lot of times when we really ain't feeling something, we gonna shut down and we like, we ain't gonna say nothing.
And that's why I want to add this one part without going down the rabbit hole, because again, we can talk about this. Why do we shut down? It's because I think it's built into us that we can't go as far as y'all are willing to go. So I believe the new men are some sensitive bitches, but to a grown men, I think that we're smart enough to know that you have to be wrong even when you're right. And so that dozens game that I could play with you, we're built for this shit. From the time we were little boys and we heard the rhyme, little boys are made of puppy dog tails and snails, and y'all is sugar and spice. It's been inbred in us that there are certain things we know we can't say. See, you can say to me, your dick is small and you can't screw.
That's
but if I tell you your pussy stink, then all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
We can say that to Lee, but we can't say that to any other dude.
That's what I'm saying. These new guys, but a grown man, I just don't think we can go
never get hard again if you say that.
Because if you not talk for days, we have to wait on you to get over it.
Okay.
But my thing is, if I go to the extent and we go head up, me and that woman, she ain't ready for it. She's not going to be able to handle it, and she might be ready to leave my ass.
God dang it, man! This is a hell of a conversation.
I can't let this slide now. No. We got it. Hold on. If y'all gotta go, you gotta go. Hold on. We say women are more sensitive, Lady D. Women would not speak. So let me bring this in. Yeah, man, we talked about this.
Black women are Teflon. Let me tell you.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
So
Here we
again,
go.
she's trying to distract me from my point, but I'm not gonna let her.
Here we
I would
go.
tell you something. Y'all see that right there? I just put up.
Uh-huh.
Everything that anyone does is learned. And again, we've talked about how again to Mr. Devin. Now, Mr. Devin need to come in here so I could tell him, sir, that's not what you want because you didn't grow up like that. So you don't know nothing about that, sir. So be careful, right? Because she know your secrets. She gonna hurt your feelings.
Tread lightly. Yeah.
Right? She gonna
lightly.
tell you,
Yeah,
she gonna tell you that finger a little bit better than okay. Well, so I mean, I ain't in your business. You digging for business. I'm standing for business. So anyway, so listen. What I'm saying, all I'm saying is, you're right. We are more sensitive than we want to admit, but we are more guarded because of the way it's going to be. If we let that go, y'all don't want to see that monster. See, because we don't know how to control the fact that because again, we're learning. We're on the job training right now as men.
Which is why I say you're more sensitive.
But you're saying it condescending.
Nope. I honestly see you took it that way because you're more sensitive.
I mean, she cashing it in today, ain't she?
Yes, she is.
Things more to heart than what, like, okay, for a woman, for instance, you hurt our feelings. We get our feelings hurt a lot by y'all, and you don't even realize that you do it. But
I agree with that.
We learn to let it. We just learn to let it go. We may get quiet. No. I can admit we may get quiet for a moment, and then we move forward. We store it so that it can all come out one day. But we let it go. Where with you, if I
imagine we did the same
with you, my mouth is deadlier than a gun. I don't know what it is about women.
So imagine if we did the same.
And the mouth, and what I'm saying is, a man will get so frustrated. A lot of men, not all men. You start to almost feel like a woman that you have to shut down and back off because you start fearing he may get so angry that he's going to say something he can't take back.
Put his hands on you.
And women, we don't really operate like that most of the time. If a woman want to tear up some stuff and put her hands on you, it's probably because you cheated or something like that, which is wrong, which it is wrong, but we shouldn't do that. But as far as you just having a conversation with us about something that hurt our feelings, and we went out of our way
but I respect your point.
You and you did, and I'm talking about small stuff to hurt your feelings, not big things like sleeping.
Unintentional things.
I'm just meaning little things.
And that's where I'm even disagreeing further. I can turn my back, and why you turned your back to me? Bitch, I'm trying to go to sleep. And I don't want your big heavy head laying on my arm all night.
Okay.
But I can't say that. Say that.
Let's do Black Love series next week.
I can't
say got to. We got to talk about it. We're going to make this number one. I think we're going to make this because I want to come back to your condescending, sensitive men comment. That's again.
Oh, this
it's only reason I say it's condescending, and you may not mean it.
This gonna be.
But I'm just saying.
I really don't.
And that's what I'm saying, because again, we're talking about the communication, the recepting. Again, it could come through whatever is filtering in my mind, maybe because of past relationships. So I get you, but I'm just saying that's why it's important to care about the person that you are extending those feelings to, because they're trying to make sure. Okay, we're gonna do love. We'll do Black Love series next week,
and I could devote an entire show to this very topic.
We will.
God, we will. Dog, y'all over the can of worms. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're doing Black Love series.
I gotta breathe heavy.
Okay. All right, come on, Black. Put them on the bus.
Woosah.
Put them on the bus.
Woosah. Lady D, my sister.
Oh boy.
My biological sister is watching. Here's a car. Superfan Toria. I toyed with this subject and about how to word it. I almost said it. Women, get your black ass on the bus. But then did. I wanted.
You did say it. That's what it said.
Well, you just
reinverted
some words.
No, I interjected that first word was black women, get your ass back on the bus.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And before you get ready to get your claws out and jump on me with your sensitive asses, hear me out. Kenny, I'm going to encroach on your world, the sports world, for this topic because of the Caitlin Clark story. And earlier in the show, Toria mentioned the fact that Caitlin Clark, you know, how she felt slighted because she didn't get it voted onto the Olympic team. And her comments was, she said they woke up a monster. Now, this is not about Caitlin Clark. This is about black women, to be honest with you. I've always felt like sports is a microcosm for what happens in life.
Yep.
And when I watched today's show, First Take, with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp debating those two women, and this has been an ongoing debate over the last couple of weeks, ever since Caitlin Clark hit the league. And without going through all of that, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp failed at trying to get the point across to the black women who were on the panel and watching as to why they need to be a little bit more supportive. And I watched the heated debate, and it was so entertaining because I watched these black sisters, beautiful black sisters, intelligent, articulate, talk about all kinds of things about it's the integrity of the game and how they weren't willing to sacrifice their personal ethics. And they gave all kinds of reasons why it was justified that Caitlin Clark didn't get voted onto the team and she got to serve her dues, and jealous of who, you know, is what they said. And the bigger point that Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. was trying to make to them was that we're not discrediting what you're saying is correct. All of those things can be true. The fact that she's coming to the league and she is superseding the fact that, you know, some of you have been here for years trying to build this league. But fair, ladies, is a place where they judge pigs. And I told you in the beginning that sports is a microcosm for life. I think about some of the examples that we learned from sports when we saw Jesse Owens take on Hitler in the Olympics. I think about Joe Louis defeating Max Melling. I think about Ali and how when he converted to the Nation of Islam and how he stood in his reservations against the Vietnam War. Even in modern times, we saw how the Miami Heat team stood up and put their hoods on, you know, in protest for Trayvon Martin. We even saw the entire NBA stand fast against the flag. Big opponents. And then I have started thinking about how often do we see women, especially women of color, stand up and use this sports platform to advance their bigger cause. And you might know more than I do. Please feel free to share with me. And Kenny, you're the sports aficionado on here. But I had to go all the way back to Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs, where she stood up and fought against male dominance and beat him on national TV. And while we call our black sisters queens, and many of you are, and you're sitting at the top of the food chain doing your business, and in so many ways you're running this shit. They run rap and women are doing their thing. And I've even been one to espouse that women are so far ahead of us when it comes to education, when it comes to progressiveness, and there is no greater person on this earth as far as education than black women. But sometimes, ladies, you can't get out of your own way. And the point that Stephen A. Smith was making is you ride, I'm going to say it the way I need to say it, you ride this white bitch all the way to the top if you need to. It's not her fault that the eyes are on her, that she's bringing to the table marketing dollars that unfortunately, fair or not, you just haven't been able to do. And so don't sit here and tell me about fair when Stephen A. Smith gave some great arguments of the fact that why Christian Laettner was on the dream team, why Isaiah Thomas never got voted to the Olympics, why Shaq was not put there in place of. Sometimes you put these white faces in place because that is what's bringing in the audience, and nobody can deny that whether you like it or not, the millions of dollars, the advancements that the WNBA has been able to leap over, she's been able to do in less than a month what a lot of you have been trying to do for years. And while you're sitting here holding steadfast about your principles and your integrity and shit like that, sometimes you need to shut the hell up and get your ass back on the bus and take this ride. There's a famous scene in the movie Barbershop where the guy says all Rosa Parks did was sit her black ass down. Now, while I don't agree with that, her stance really ignited the civil rights movement, and it was able to galvanize all of us to be able to stand against a racist system of segregation at the time that advanced the cause for all people. So I implore you, my sisters, there's a time to stand in your integrity, to stand in all of your queendom and blackness. This is just not one of those times. Whether you like this white girl or not, whether you think she deserves the shot she's getting, fair is a place where they judge pigs. Get your ass on the bus and ride this train all the way to the next stop where you all can get paid, because on this very show, the very beginning, we talked about how we finally are recognizing the Negro Leagues. And for a lot of you WNBA players, you don't want your career go by the wayside. And some 30, 40, 50 years later, and you haven't made the money you're supposed to, gotten the recognition you're supposed to, all because you stood on your principles. You might not want to hear this, my sisters, but sometimes it's okay to sell out just a little bit. Get your ass back on the bus.
In short.
My God. My God. My
Right.
God.
Woo. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. He preached this sermon, didn't he, for that chat? Thank you, sir. All right, y'all. It's final thoughts time, y'all. We done talked up this show for next week so much.
We damn sure have.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
You just better not be going on vacation next Monday.
I wish.
No. Man, I love and appreciate y'all so much. So listen, it's final thoughts time. Brother Kenny, always my brother. Let me hear it.
Oh man, I would love to have a retort to my brother Black's soliloquy, because they're definitely, before there was a Caitlin Clark, there was a Cheryl Swoops.
Yes, sir.
There was a Cynthia Cooper.
Yes,
but
sir.
Unfortunately, they didn't come around at the right time. But I love my brother Black, what he came with, and we're gonna leave it there because I could go on a whole nother rabbit hole. But I want to talk.
The white girl name? What's her name?
It's been many. It was been many. It's been Cheryl Miller's.
Karasi.
It's Cheryl Miller's. I'm going way back to those that actually watch women basketball, not these band fanders that just got on the last 2 years. There's been some women ballers way before Caitlin Clark.
I'm just saying she's just not the first phenomenal white girl that played.
Yeah, and she ain't the first phenomenal white woman either. Yeah. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let me get in here and out of there.
Yes.
But let me say this about Project 2025. I implore all my people of color to watch that piece of video. Really just educate yourself on this Project 2025, because the conservative people, and you could be Republican. I don't care what you vote. Whatever. Example of this sensitivity of women, laughing out loud. There go DJ. There he go. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. You need to watch this Project 2025 video. Just to inform yourself of really what's happening and what could happen if that red face that grab women by their coochies if he gets elected. This is their agenda. This is what's gonna go down. So hey, it is what it is. So don't say you ain't been warned. So watch Project 2025. And I also gotta say, next weekend we won't be on till Monday, but next weekend, guess what? It's Juneteenth weekend and it's Father's Day weekend. Next weekend. So I want to make sure that all these beautiful women and that has, if your husbands and your baby daddies and whatever, y'all cool like that, y'all make sure y'all patronize some Black-owned businesses next weekend. Even if you don't want to go with your baby daddy, you can sit on the other side of the restaurant and he sit on the other. If y'all cool like that, you ain't got to ride in the same car. Y'all can take Uber, send him an Uber Eats or something. I just want to make sure we patronize Black-owned businesses next weekend and celebrate the fathers in your lives if they work for shit. And that's my
I like that. I like that.
So. That's a tough contingency, Doc. It's a tough contingency. All right, sister, bring it on home. Enjoyed you today.
Yeah, I just want to say, in consideration of y'all's feelings, I just want to say,
sick of you.
Happy Father's Day to y'all. I want you to know that you are valued and honored and respected, as fathers. And I want to always take your feelings into consideration in everything that you do every day. And you are wonderful. No, I'm just bullshitting. Listen, y'all. I'm sick of that. Happy Father's Day, y'all, because it'll be the day after. I want y'all to enjoy y'all next weekend, and You know what I'm saying? And just do what you want to do. You know, Black, spend $21, you know, next weekend for yourself. And just throw a few of them in there. And you know what I'm saying? Earn a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just do what y'all have to do to enjoy and make the best of it. And y'all just make sure that your baby mamas, ex-wives, whoever they are, side chicks, your little sneaky links, they respect y'all feelings when they hook y'all up for Father's Day.
Bravo.
You know I'm gonna get you the next Monday. I'm gonna show you how sensitive you are. Come on,
mine is real quick. Just want to give a shout out to this platform, TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes. Folks, it's 11 o'clock for me. This is the only show I stay up to do this for. But I can tell you the amount of topics and situations and circumstances we cover that's valuable, even though we make it funny. There is no show that I know that's like this. And I just truly appreciate that. This is the value of being able to, Brother Brenton, you talked about putting stuff in that bank, the relationship and friendship that we've all built up over the years. And I'm not just talking about this panel. I'm talking about the viewers who watch, that it's a safe place that we can have dissenting opinions and talk about something and agree to disagree without being disagreeable. But there are so many nuggets from each of these episodes that I hope that you guys keep coming back and tell other people about, because these conversations are just not happening anywhere else. You're not going to get this from TikTok. You're not going to get this from other shows. And as far as TFG goes, this is the premier show that you need to be tuning into to get your news, sports, religion, takes on relationships. It is all here for the taking, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it.
Not to cut you off, DJ, I'm so excited for you to get your first macaroni pie.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations, DJ. Much love, brother. Already. Yeah.
Posted some pictures, bro, so we can see, man.
Yeah.
So you get a lot better when you get a little old and got a job, too.
That's a handsome little fella, too. He's a handsome young man. There,
yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. My daughter is beating my door down. She ready to go to bed. So I told her to get out of my office, but so okay, real quickly. If you believe in karma, who would you think deserves it more?
Red face.
Who the heck is that?
Trump.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Sister?
Trump, diabetic ass.
All right, Kenny.
Trump by a landslide in this mother.
All right.
For real.
Okay. Well, good. So if karma was a situation, I think it would look a little something like this. Y'all take a look at this.
Damn! They in the blue truck. Look at Oh, here they get outside. Damn! They just got smacked.
Oh.
Stop being ugly.
Right. That's definitely karma right there for sure.
Wow.
Appreciate that, bro. Yeah.
Thank you, DJ.
I don't know if I believe it or not, but they're gonna make a believer out of me today looking at that. So I don't know what she put on that card, but I sure wish she wish she would have took it back, right? Because yeah, it was what it was. But listen, y'all just be careful out there. Stop being ugly to folks, but because they're exposing you now. So just be careful out there. Listen, that's Devin, that's Lee.
Hey, Brent, make sure you promote the channel. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. TFG Tonight.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe.
Subscribe.
Every Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're gonna give it to you straight with no chasers. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, share it to your social media platforms. Promote.
Platform, grown folks platform.
Yes. And just know we talking grown next Monday because I'm gonna deal with that one up there. I mean, that's Devin, that's Leah, that's Kenny, y'all. We'll see y'all on Monday. We out.
Peace.
Peace.